Hello friends, this is Olga, mature medical student from Ukraine, and today I want to talk to you about questions of safety. Is it safe to be in Ukraine, to live in Ukraine, to stay for long in Ukraine, and to study medicine in Ukraine? I mean, not just medicine, but any university, any faculty in Ukraine, is it safe to study there? How is it possible to study medicine in Ukraine for foreign students? Also in this video, I wanted to tell you which city is the safest now if you want to be in Ukraine in person. So what about safety? The main question now. I must say that now Ukraine is quite safe, but not everywhere. For example, such cities now as Odessa, Mykolaiv, Zaporizhia, Dnipro are extremely dangerous. And here, the last days, we had a lot of bad and sad news from there, the results of shelling. For example, this video from tomorrow, here it says that yesterday, in result of missile in Zaporizhia, were killed 2 young girls, and you see them on the screens here. On the screen here, these girls. And here also marked that on the screen it is the street concert. These girls, they have names, had names Christina and Svetlana, and it was made just an hour before they lost their lives. So rest in peace, Christina and Svetlana. You see, these girls, they were completely relaxed, completely positive. And also this new from Zaporizhia, it was 2 days before. Before that, I showed you about Svetlana and Christina Zaporizhia. It's here says 2 persons lost their lives and 2 persons were injured, 7 persons were injured. So this is the news from Zaporizhia. And as you can understand, Zaporizhia now is really not safe place. As we talking about Western Ukraine, Western cities of Ukraine is traditionally, they like more safe because it's far from front line. The farthest regions are Western Ukraine regions. But now Russia changed its tactics, and they try to destroy also some objects and some cities of Western Ukraine. And the problem is that cities, they are not enough protected by defense systems. For example, here is an article about tragedy in Ivano-Frankivsk region from the Ukrainian Truth Journal, or in Ukrainian Ukrainska Pravda. Here this article says about the 8-year-old boy that lost his life because of the Russian missile strike. And here you see his picture on his 8-year-old birthday. His name was Volodya. It's a short name of Volodymyr. So rest in peace, Volodya. You will be one of the 500 already of Ukrainian children, Ukrainian angels. You see that Western Ukraine cannot be 100% safe, but I may say you unsure that the numbers, the types of weapons Russia may apply for closest cities is the higher, is bigger. They have short distance shells, middle distance, different types of shells, bombs, missiles. But to hit the Western Ukrainian lands, it's for Russia, it's more complicated. They use certain couple missile types, for example, Caliber, for example, Kinjal. Fortunately for us, Russia don't have much of these missiles. They are very, very expensive. They cost millions of dollars. What regions of Western Ukraine are the safest? As I remember, it is Chernivtska Oblast region. It is near Romania and Moldova. Because Chernivtska Oblast is hard to reach for Russians, that region, for example, launch the missile from the Black Sea. This missile should fly at the space of another countries. Probably it is a safe place if we are talking about the Western Ukraine. Another place that could be more safe, it is the Zakarpattia region. Zakarpattia is borders with I guess 4 countries. It is Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Poland. So you have a lot of ways to step back if you need. And the reason why it is safe, because it's situated after the mountains, Carpathian Mountains. Military expert Mr. Chernik said that the mountains, they are obstacle and a quite hard obstacle for those Russian operators who are programming the route for missile. However, I think that Zakarpattia had, for all these times of war, probably only one missile strike, as I remember correctly. And it means that Zakarpattia so far is quite safe. But anyway, with this thing, you have to remember that those regions that count as a safe regions, they also have not enough air defense systems. And if there will be a goal to launch the missile exactly in Chernivtska or Zakarpatska region, there will be not much means to protect objects on these territories. That was about Western Ukraine. But what city and region are the safest in Ukraine now? Now, is the safest city is the capital, is Kiev. And not region, not the Kievian region and towns around Kiev. Exactly Kiev is the safest place because of powerful air defense systems, because they have to protect administrative, the main government, different objects and military objects, the administrative military main objects. So to be in Kiev, it's quite safe. Usually when some missiles are on the way to Kiev, they likely to be shot down in Kiev region, and the part of those missiles, they may fall on the different towns and objects in Kiev region, but when you will be exactly in Kiev city, it will be much more safe. So is it safe to live in Ukraine now for a long time? Well, it depends on region, on city where you will live, but in the winter, our government promises us that there could be problems with electricity and heating, because Russians, they going to continue destroy our energetic system. That thing they started previous winter. A new missile strikes will be essential. I mean, the population of Ukraine and Kiev may feel that, sitting in the cold flats and sitting without electricity, without possibility to charge phone, notebook, computer, to cook something, to wash yourself, to have a shower, and even sometimes to get water if there is electrical pumps, water pumps they have. So the possibility is quite scary, but it's just a possibility. We don't know what will happen. It's just a warning, and our administration warns people to keep this in the mind, to think about some alternative sources of energy, some kind of engines and generators of energy, for example, diesel generators, or some batteries, high capacity batteries, and some independent heating systems. As you understand, while we have a cold season, it is late autumn, like November, 3 winter months, also March months. These 5 months is usually quite cold in Ukraine, and you cannot stay without heating at all. So if there will be no danger exactly for you, if you will be in safe place, for example in Kiev somewhere, there is still danger for you to suffer from cold, from long and often absence of light, of electricity, of heating, and you must know about that. For example, last winter, Kievites had these problems, and was a lot of articles and information about explosions in the flats, in apartments in Kiev, because people, they tried to think up how to cook, for example, a food, how to got this heating, independent heating, and not all means were safe for that. For example, people, they used the balloons, iron balloons, filled by gas, and that's quite dangerous thing. If there will be some technical problems with that balloon full of gas, it may explode. So that's what happened in Kiev last winter. A lot of explosions in apartments because people just used that gas balloons for cooking, for heating, for some purposes, because they had not any electricity at all. You should think about this if you want to live, to stay in Ukraine in winter, because I cannot guarantee that it will be so hard as I told you, but you understand that the possibility of this is quite high. Now, what about education? Is it possible to study in Ukraine for medical or any students, and how it is possible, and if it has some benefits or not? We have to distinguish two categories of students. It is Ukrainian students, Ukrainian citizens, who are become a student in Ukraine, and non-resident students, I mean foreign students who are from any country of the world, and they came to get Ukrainian education. Here is an article about that Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine prepare to return pupils and students to study in person since the 1st of September. And also they say that on the first place, of course, is safety. This is the word of Lisovy. It is the Minister of Education. Ukrainian students will attend medical universities, other universities too. However, there is a mark that every university has independence to organize its own educational process. In that way, they may organize, or they want. Is it possible and is it safe for foreigners, for foreign medical students or other students to get a diploma in Ukraine, to study in Ukraine? Do they need to stay in Ukraine for 5 years, for 6 years, with a short periods of vacation, to going home, to return home and stay in Ukraine? I definitely say to you no. Now, most of universities, I would assume that 100% of universities, they propose to foreigners online study. So basically, a foreign student may send a document. I do not know exactly if for that is obligated to come in person to university, or you may say send it just by some, I don't know, means like email or other. But anyway, then most of foreign students, they have possibility to study online. And how it happens, this study online, and what do you need to study online in Ukrainian any university? Basically what you need a strong internet connection, and you need some device like personal computer or notebook, so you can get medical diploma, basically just staying and study online from your home. This diploma will be not different. This diploma will not will be not valid or something. It will be common, normal medical diploma. And I think it's amazing possibility now for foreign students. So you shouldn't be afraid to apply for a medicine or other specialty now in Ukraine, because now it is a possibility to study for you easier. As for me, as for my experience, the level of knowledges will be not worst. Of course, you have to understand that the war will not last for forever, and probably there will be a need to go to university and study there in person after war. I don't know, 1 year or 2 years, but it will be not 5, not 6 years. It's just 1 or 2 years. It's much more better, as you understand. So this is my video for today. I hope you found something useful. This was the mature medical student refugee, Olga, and see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.